Hey everybody, I just wanted to share some information about what is going on in New Jersey. Earlier this week, people were planning to attend a maskless shopping protest, and on Wednesday, Governor Murphy held a press conference, and during that conference, he discussed the maskless shopping event, and he stated that he was going to have the Department of Homeland Security investigate this event. The Department of Homeland Security, whose mission involves counterterrorism. So, is Governor Murphy implying that the New Jersey citizens who were thinking about attending this protest are domestic terrorists? That's what it's come to. Also, in this press conference, Governor Murphy, and I quote, stated he feels like he's Khrushchev banging on the table. If that irony is not slapping you in the face, it really should be, because he certainly is acting like a dictator straight out of communist Russia. This is disappointing. And, he called a lot of people's bluff because although there was talk about it on the radio and news articles, not very many people showed up. And I can only imagine it's because they were scared, like all of us were, when we hear that our governor is calling for the Department of Homeland Security to investigate law-abiding citizens interested in attending a protest. In case any of you forgot, it is our inalienable right to protest. Inalienable. That means the government didn't give us this right. We were born with it. It was endowed by our Creator. Phil Murphy has no right to call the Department of Homeland Security on tax-paying citizens who choose to attend a protest. And I'll tell you what, the people who did show up, I'm so thankful for. Thank you. Thank you for coming anyways. And we walked around, and guess what? Nobody said anything. No security guards, no employees, hardly any shoppers. I think one guy might have given a little girl a thumbs down for not wearing her mask. But the police officers who were there said, we think this is really stupid. We're sorry for even having to tell you guys this. But if somebody asked you to leave, you have to leave. And of course, if that would have happened, we would have complied. But it didn't happen. They let us shop. They let us purchase our items, maskless, because you can do it, because we're free citizens. So, well, the head count wasn't what anybody had expected. That's fine. But you know who was there? Well, I can't say for sure that it was the Department of Homeland Security, but some undercover agents were certainly there and watching us. And they even followed a friend of ours as he left the mall for at least 30 minutes. Followed him for miles, cutting off other drivers, tailgating him in a dangerous manner. He pulled over. They sat there and watched him. He left. They followed him. They're trying to scare us. And these type of tactics are used by totalitarian governments. Because as scared as we were that the governor is calling the Department of Homeland Security, you have to wonder how scared they must be to have to call the Department of Homeland Security on us citizens. Because the illusion is slowly chipping away. It's been a year since I've seen anybody in New Jersey shop without a mask on. In a year, I've not seen one person walk through a store without a mask. In a year, I haven't walked through a store without a mask. Also in the press conference, somebody had mentioned, well, if these people would just wear masks, this lockdown and this pandemic would be over. And we all know that is utter bullshit. Utter bullshit. Governor Murphy put COVID positive patients back into nursing homes just like Cuomo, and he has the audacity to investigate citizens, he needs to be investigated. It's time to go. It's time for him to go. It's time for us to move on. I'm not saying the virus is fake. I'm not saying any of that. I understand people have concerns. You have your right to have a concern. You have your right to wear a mask. And we have our right to stand up to tyrants who we feel are making unlawful mandates. If we all stood up, they would have to change their mandate. They would have to be resourceful and think of other ways to combat the virus, because how many people do you know have gotten COVID? And I bet if they're in New Jersey, they're always wearing the mask when they're out in public. So tell me, what do we do? How much liberty are we willing to give up for a false sense of security? When are we going to stand up for ourselves? It's okay if you disagree with me. That's fine, because you know what? I will stand next to you and fight for your right to disagree with me. I hope that people start understanding that it's not about the virus. It's not really even about the masks. It's about our rights as individuals and the government and the government's constant overstepping of their authority. We have the power. We elect them. We pay their salaries. We don't have to comply with unlawful mandates. And we don't have to hate each other because they tell us to. We're all better than that. So thank you everybody who cared enough to make today a priority. And it was great to meet you. And I hope more people stand up. Even if it's in a conversation. It's time. We want our lives back. This is not the new normal, and it will never be. Have a good night.